So I will do that now. I'm going to check first. Leslie's been kind to make sure that I'm recording. I think so. I think so now. Yeah. So we're just going to be practicing today. What I realized is what we can do is small moments, which is, of course, how all practice is undertaken. All practice throughout all time is undertaken in small moments of waking up, in small moments of coming to presence, in small moments of opening to love. And really, I just had an experience this weekend in my own life where just one moment of understanding, one moment of clarity opened an incredible amount of love and energy. So I feel encouraged by that reality. We are going to look for a little extended practice time. My goal, personal goal, will be that we try to do that outside. I just think we need the contact, don't we? We need the contact with each other. We need the contact with nature. We need the contact with open space. We need the contact with our own open hearts. And the Zoom was feeling unnecessarily depleting, a little bit exhausting. But again, I want to be clear because I had a few of you beautifully, thank you, also express concern like, maybe the practice is too much. Never. It is the only, sometimes, right? The open heart mind is always available, sometimes the only resource available. But yes, the way I think we were trying to do it was in wrong timing. And I am grateful to my mindfulness practice, by the way, to see that. Because I think without that, we would have charged onward in a way that I don't think is right. And I come from warrior lineage, so I do know how to charge on, but it is not always the right thing. Sometimes the right thing is actually settling, turning in, being still. And so we are going to do that today. So I have this poem that I cannot get onto one, so I'll do my best to show you as much of it as I can, but we're going to have Jim actually come on, Jim, if you would, and read this. And then I have something I want to read as a, not a counterpoint, but another support for this. And then we're going to do loving kindness practice. Essential, real change, as Sharon Salzberg says, comes from this. Loving kindness towards oneself. We need this essential sustenance for ourselves now. So Jim, if you're on, would you come on and read it? And I'll just offer as much to people here as I can.
Yeah, it's fine. You can send it off to them in an email sometime. So before I read two things, for those of you who got out early, the sky this morning here, those who are local, was spectacular. Another reminder of what's out beyond Zoom, or maybe is part of Zoom, who knows. And I want to also appreciate Diana's YouTube of Ty, who, although may not have many more days in this particular body, has been with us and will be with us. Thank you for reminding me of that, even when he's not with his body. A great teacher. And speaking of a great teacher, this poem comes from David White, who is a remarkable teacher. Started as a biologist in the out of doors, and I think he found amazing insights. And he focused on the word cleave which is an auto-antonym, a word that can mean its own opposite, because cleave can be used to mean both split apart and stick together. So this is what David has to say. Cleave, to hold together and to split apart at one and the same time, like the shock of being born, breathing in this world while lamenting for the one we've left. No one needs to tell us we are already on our onward way. No one has to remind us of our everyday and intimate embrace with disappearance. We were born saying goodbye to what we love. We were born in a beautiful reluctance, not quite ready to breathe in this new world. We are here and we are not. We are present while still not wanting to admit we have arrived. Not quite arrived in our minds, yet always arriving in the body. Always growing older while trying to grow younger. Always in the act of catching up, saying hello or saying goodbye. Finding strangely in each new and imagined future the still lived memory of a previous precious life.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that, Jim. A previous precious life is actually which one this moment, because it is here and gone, as we have been practicing in the Bardos in exactly the same moment. It is present and then not present, and how we can cultivate qualities so that we can not only bear both, but thrive within it. And I'm going to see if I can't find this poem as a support for what David was saying. And I'll read that to you, and then we'll prepare to sit. Let's see if I can't share that. From the Almanac of Last Things, I choose the spider lily for the grace of its brief blossom, though I myself fear brevity. But I choose the Song of Songs because the flesh of those pomegranates has survived all the frost of dogma. I choose January with its chill lessons of patience and despair, and August, too sunstruck for lessons. I choose a thimbleful of red wine to make my heart trace, then another to help me sleep. From the Almanac of Last Things, I choose you, as I have done before. And I choose evening because the light clinging to the window is at its most reflective, just as it is ready to go out. And I choose evening because the light clinging to the window is at its most reflective, just as it is ready to go out. Thank you. I'm going to check one more time. Let's prepare to sit. Thank you once again, Jim. And so hearing a little background noise, so I am thinking by accident someone is not quite muted. So if you notice that, check yourself just for a moment. I'm going to stop the share for now, just so we can be most together here. And so this is loving kindness directed towards oneself in many ways. I think this is the most difficult. I think because for myself, as I was saying, I know how to warrior through. We can cut ourselves off from our own selves and our own nourishment. And there's another side to that, and we're capable of it all. We can also collapse. We can collapse in fear, we can collapse in exhaustion, depletion, distress, and but we separate from ourselves the same in both. And so the practice, in loving kindness practice, is to really show up with oneself exactly as you are, without this idea that I have to be some other way. And I love the loving kindness practice for greeting oneself as we are, without this idea that I have to be more loving, that I have to be more kind, that it actually is essentially within us. It is that we have deprived ourselves of this for a variety of ideological, habitual reasons, and also out of, this cultural context, I think, that we all possess for things like guilt and shame. I am unworthy. I'm not deserving. I have not done enough. We'll talk about this a little later, but the believed thought that there's nothing I can do to be a benefit here, and forgetting that one of the key ways to be a benefit is to be with, for, and breathe first for oneself. So let's see if we can try that and then talk a little more. And so we begin by simply feeling the support of the body and the seat we've taken, and just dropping in, inclining that attention kindly, gently towards oneself. We just feel the sense of the body and its aliveness, in its present moment realness, just sitting here. And this is already good. And then we feel, as we're being still for just a moment, and if your eyes naturally lower, this is wonderful, softening your gaze. There's nothing else to see. This is the direct experiencing, the direct feeling that we're going to make contact with, not some idea about kindness, but the direct felt sense. And so the eyes will close or lower, whatever's most comfortable for you, sitting in whatever position or posture is best for you. And then we breathe, and with the out breath, we draw the breath and the attention down into the feet and the legs and the hips, just feeling into that stability that's available for us right here. And with each out breath, just for a moment, we move beyond the body so that you can remember the stability of the earth that's holding you right now. The truth of that. Can you feel that support? You are being drawn to the earth by its centrifugal energy. It's holding you in place. And so we don't have to try as hard as we often believe for that stability or that stillness. It's actually right here. Drop into the seat you've taken. Breathe it, feel it. See if we can't let go into it a little bit more. Smile at its truth. And then we can feel with the next in-breath the uprightness of the spine, the balance of the head, the rising of the body with each in-breath. And with the next out-breath, coming down into the front of the body, softening, relaxing, letting the face be soft. Let the shoulders and arms be heavy. Let the chest, the belly, be open, effortless. ever expanding and contracting, cleaving, together and apart, together and apart. And as we have entered the body, we come closer to feeling our aspirations. May we be well. May we be happy. May we be healthy. May we live with ease. And we offer these aspirations and intentions not only to ourselves, but we establish a person, a group, beings to whom to practice for and with now. We establish the Sangha, not only in our external presence, but the internal. We connect ourselves, we plug in. May this be a benefit to all beings everywhere without exception, beginning right here with me and this one. And with the strike of the bell, see if we can't take a few of your own deep in and out breaths. Feeling into the aliveness of this present moment, smiling at its truth. I am here now. This moment, most possible, most loving. Most awake. Let's give ourselves a few moments with the refuge of the breath. The shaky breath, the stable breath. A body that's restless, a body that's still. We breathe it all. This is a key portion of the practice where we remember the unconditional friendliness, that awakened heart that greets each moment, just beginning in this body like this. That begins right here with this one breath like this. We're not trying to get anywhere else. We're not trying to be anyone else. We're making contact and moving closer to the truth of our humanness as known right here by this body and breath. And rather than condemn yourself as you are noticing thoughts, see if we can't celebrate the recognition itself. Oh, knowing a thought is a thought. Perfect, beautiful practice. And coming back into the body. Back to the breath. Every moment that we touch into the breath and body, we are growing our mindfulness. Every breath moment to pull on this continuous path of mindfulness. And then for a moment, I'd like you to reflect on all that has come before, the lineage, the traditions, the ancestors, the parents, the grandparents, and theirs that have contributed to the goodness of this moment. To the possibility of loving kindness right here. Breathe it in. This is also a source of refuge. And in the Buddhist tradition, it's often reflected on as calling on all the Buddhas, all the awakened ones, all those who have practiced, all those who have contributed and been of benefit to the welfare of others and oneself. May we remember this. And we reflect, for example, on Tai himself this morning. And the goodness that pervades through his practice, his teachings right now. And that will continue. And the goodness of your practice right now that will continue and blossom and flourish. And with this nourishment, with this sustenance, with this remembering, we are resourcing ourselves. Breathe it in. And let it soak throughout the whole body. Be watchful not to keep it tight or contained. Only in the breath. Feel its warmth, its spaciousness, its ease. Feel the love. Let it radiate throughout the whole body. And then I'd like you to pick one moment. We're going to sharpen our attention now to one moment that you recollect in this present incarnation, where you could genuinely feel, not remember, but feel that goodness, that love, that kindness. And call it present. And develop this felt sense as best you can. And the way we can often do this is by recollecting specifics, so we can remember the smells, the sights, the textures, the colors, the space, the place, the people. Remembering the sounds, the silence. Maybe this comes forward for you as someone's eyes looking upon you, a smile, an embrace. And you can hold it in the mind's eye, but more importantly, drop down, wake down into the body. See if we can't cultivate that most immediate, most physical felt sense. Breathe into it. This contact with goodness, love, kindness. Feel into the heart space. Noticing whatever is present there. We're not trying to cultivate a certain kind of feeling, a certain sensation, a certain emotion. Loving kindness is beyond all this. It is a quality of heart-mind, a recognition, an acknowledgement, a resting in the truth of goodness, alive every moment and right now. And see if you can identify a benefactor in this vignette, someone who has contributed to your felt sense, to your knowing the truth of loving kindness. In picturing them, we're going to be offering these very simple phrases. a way of putting language to the heart. Picturing them and inviting them into your own heart space with each phrase. May you be happy. May you be safe. May you be healthy. May you live with ease. Breathing them into your heart and touching into your own heart space. Feeling the nature of this loving kindness, this friendliness. Remembering that no matter whether they are alive or dead, whether they are present or far, whether they are young or old, that this kindness is available now as a refuge, not only to them, but to you, not only to you, but to us all. It matters. And once we're able to establish some phrases, they may not be those, they may be others. We're just trying to keep it honest and real. Maybe, and be watchful of this idea that the may you implies some kind of permission. It's not the truth of it. It's, I wish this regardless of conditions. May it be so. Regardless of conditions, regardless of good days or bad days, sunny days or cloudy days, whether you are here or whether you are not here. May this be so. And may I remember. Breathing it in, letting it translate throughout the body. And just noticing the effects. I just noticed a little smile. My shoulders just dropped a little more. I could feel a sense of growing openness and space as I rest in the refuge of this love, this kindness that has been offered to me. And as we're breathing, we can bring that heart-mind circle that, and of course it doesn't really have any particular shape. We're just expanding awareness and expanding the heart beyond this caring other, this benefactor, this loved one. And we're going to see if we can't offer now this goodness to oneself, just as this benefactor has offered it to you. See if you can see yourself through the eyes of this loved one, this caring other. See the goodness in you that they see. It doesn't mean we haven't made mistakes. It doesn't mean we haven't fucked up. For sure we have, but this is not really who we are. This is the path of learning, the path of cultivating wisdom, trying life on, seeing what is of benefit and what is of consequence, feeling our way. And if for whatever reason you feel a kind of resistance or reluctance, a struggle with offering this to yourself, see if you can picture yourself then in some more innocent, more vulnerable way. See if you can remember yourself in its own goodness, rather than in the trance of worthiness or unworthiness. They're both trances. Just breathing in, seeing if we can feel the warmth, feel the space, feel the embrace as we offer these phrases of loving kindness to ourselves with the support of the benefactors, the support of the Sangha, the support of all those awakened ones who know our true nature. May we let them be our mirror, radiating our goodness. May I be well. May I be safe. May I be healthy. May I have, may I live with ease. May I remember who I really am. Breathing that in, bathing oneself, immersing in this friendliness, in this kindness, like a warm bath. And let it dissolve all the barriers, all the resistance, all the blocks to taking in this goodness for oneself. And seeing the loving eyes being directed towards yourself from yourself. Remembering the good. And that good does not mean as opposed to bad. It means remembering your true nature, that from which you have come and are and will go. Feeling the connection, the warmth, the presence of this open, spacious, awakened heart. in this loving presence, immersing yourself. And when we get distracted, when we get into those trances of unworthiness or guilt or shame, we simply smile in recognition. We unhook from the story that is not true. We come back into the body, unconditionally friendly. Or conditionally friendly, but friendly nonetheless. Breathing into the heart, into the body, letting it touch every cell and pore, muscle, and hair. Bathing oneself in loving kindness as best you can. And as we remember our goodness, we can also turn then towards the difficulty. And so we're going to stay with ourselves in this practice, but we're going to picture ourselves now in a moment of reactivity, in a moment of resistance, in a moment of struggle, in a moment of conflict or aggression, maybe a moment of doubt or confusion, maybe a moment in which we abandoned ourselves or another. We checked out, we disappeared, we separated from the truth. And picturing that moment. And we usually don't have to look too far. And seeing if we can in this, rather than seeing ourselves in some essentially bad, identifying with this moment, seeing if we can touch into the tender heart, the fearing heart, the fatigued heart, the weary heart, the worried heart, that was the condition from which this moment came. See if we can make contact. Some fear present here. Some fatigue. Recollecting this moment without judgment. And seeing if we can offer this self, this moment. Remember, just a flash, a dewdrop, not more true than our goodness. See if we can offer ourselves in this moment these phrases of loving kindness. Picturing yourself. I can feel the tension in my shoulders. I can feel that hot phone in my ear. I can feel the heat in my own contraction. And let's offer ourselves these healing phrases. May I be well right here in this difficult moment. May I be safe, protecting myself from inner and outer harm. May I be healthy and whole so that I can hold even this. May I be happy, remembering that even now I can be well. May I live with ease. May I reduce my contraction, my resistance, my reactivity. Towards a momentary experience, not who I really am, and true. Whatever happened, happened. Breathing in for oneself in this moment. Expanding our hearts, including ourselves in our goodness, in our weariness, in our confusion, in our doubts. It's the same medicine. Can we be with ourselves with kindness, with friendliness? And then remember, as always, offering the phrases that feel most real, most available. And then we can expand this heart beyond a moment of goodness, beyond a moment of difficulty, to this very present moment, holding ourselves now with all of this exactly as we are. And of course, we are all of this. A moment of opening, a moment of closing, a moment of widening, a moment of contracting, an impulse, expanding, and a returning. This heart mind, big enough, wide enough, deep enough, awake enough to hold it all right now, exactly as we are. So breathing in, once again, this present moment self. Making contact with the body as it is, with the breath as it is. Noticing thoughts as they are. Maybe particular emotions. Recognizing this moment like this. Cultivating not only our mindfulness, but also opening the heart, including this moment also. In this one, we offer ourselves this friendliness. May I be well this moment as I am. May I be safe from inner and outer harm. May I be healthy, offering myself the rest, the nourishment that I need to be whole, present. May I be happy, remembering all the good before, now, and to come. May I live with ease, even in times of challenge, fatigue, fear, confusion. This heart mind is big enough to hold it all. May I remember who I really am. Breathing in this goodness for oneself, bathing oneself, both in the physical felt sense of ease and with these loving thoughts and phrases. And then seeing if for the last moments we can offer this heart in whatever directions you feel able. The future self, the one that will be loving and the one that will be confused, the one that will be fearing, the one that will be contracted. Seeing if we can offer ourselves a little space, a little room for this humanness. May we honor the truth of this vulnerability, being alive in this time. We don't have to push away the realities of pain, of the fear of divisiveness, of the feelings of disconnect. May we nourish ourselves now for all moments to come. Breathing in for oneself now and now. May I be well in this moment and every other. May I be safe in this moment and all moments to come. May I be healthy from the care I am offering myself, and that I allow others to offer me. May I be happy as I remember the goodness that is within and around, remembering the refuge that is always available. May I live with ease as I rest in loving kindness and goodness, and compassion and wisdom. May I remember that it is always right here and right here. And may I remember to breathe it in. Beginning with myself. And for the final moment, seeing if we can open that heart wide in all directions, including whoever else comes in this. I have a little cat sitting in my lap. I'm gonna open, include Mill here. Be easy to see him as a distraction. Can I open to him as an offering? As a moment of care and connection for us both. Can we open to the people in the other rooms? To our wish for their happiness, for their ease? Can we include family, loved ones who are not near but held deeply in our hearts? May we wish that they be well. Can we open beyond and include the neighbors? Not only those who have the same signs in their yards, but those who have the other, the perceived other. May we offer them friendliness, the wish for ease and happiness. And continuing to move out for a moment, letting this friendliness expand and noticing that you are capable. May we all be well. May we all be safe. May we all be healthy. May we all live with ease. May we remember the goodness, the Buddha nature, the Christ nature, the Muhammad nature, our natural goodness. May we see it in all beings. And then just coming back into one's own body, one's own heart, narrowing for just a moment, focusing once again on one's own body, heart, and mind. Holding oneself in that radiant light. Breathing it in and out. Letting the barriers between self and other dissolve completely so that there is only the breath and this goodness. No inside or outside, no me or you. Goodness being breathed. May we all be well. May we all be safe. May we all be healthy. May we all be happy. May we all live with ease. And may this practice contribute that it be so. So take a moment and just release the body as best you can. I'm going to show Milton here. This is not my cat. This is the neighbor's cat who decided to come in for the loving kindness practice. And you likely heard Milton meowing. He really wanted to get in on the action there, and I can't blame him for sure. We all need this. This cat is actually completely not neglected. In fact, what's true about this cat is that this cat owns the neighborhood. He owns the neighborhood. Yeah, exactly, Annika. Yeah, great job with the cat. Our job is, as we said, can we be open and friendly with everything, even the things we didn't expect or plan on, or I heard him meowing at the screen door, which, by the way, I don't know how he got that open. That was not me, but he did it. He was not happy being out there. You could clearly see. We all need, don't we, a community. We all need a connection. We all need, and now he has since disappeared. Doesn't need to be here any longer. So I want to pull up one other thing, and as we talk about this for a moment, and we don't have a lot of time because we're doing okay. That's great. Here's something that Sharon Salzberg, who wrote the book Real Change, and it's a book I'm really enjoying. Sharon is always an amazing teacher, by the way, but I've not always found her writing or her books inspiring. They haven't always touched me. They're very practical, however. But this particular book, Real Change, is one I could heartily, wholly, completely recommend. And I think it's essential for the time. And here's what she had to say, and I want to look at this for a moment. Let me see if I can make this a share. See if you can see that. And what it's here is tranquility itself is not freedom from storm, but peace within it. This was a really important remembering for me a couple days ago. When I was feeling exhausted, depleted, alone. By the way, it's never true. It's a part of the delusion. But I was caught in a vulnerable, tired, a little bit weary moment. I had not offered myself sufficiently the resources I needed in the desperation and in the genuine desire to be of benefit and service to others. I had toppled, as we can do, and just needed to get back to myself, which was critically important. And that one line tranquility itself is not freedom from the storm, but peace within it. And it was very important for me, directional for me, around what needed to happen, which was a little more time and space. But there was then another quote from the book that I really liked, and I wanted to talk about it today, which is sometimes we find ourselves confronting a seemingly intractable problem. We might call that a politic, a person, perspective, a moment, an event, a trauma. We're overwhelmed and don't know what to do to make it all okay. Until after a time, we realize we need to do the one small thing that's right here in front of us, or nothing can ever change. We sit and remember we are worth something, that all of us are, and we use that realization to give us courage and determination. And this quote from Sharon from the book Real Change reminded me of what Joko constantly said, which is simply we arrive at the moment, see clearly what is here, and then do what needs to be done as best we can know and see at that one moment. And we are watchful of the habit to go, but it isn't enough. It hasn't solved everything, because that's not the way to any meaningful contribution or change. It in fact occurs just like this, breath a moment at a time. And that we can remember this, I think, is critically important. And then, so here's a thought. I'd like us to reflect on one small moment, something you did, a small moment, where, it doesn't look so significant. It doesn't look like curing cancer. It doesn't look like feeding or resolving world hunger. But it is one small moment that you offered either to yourself or to another that made a difference. That actually made a difference. And the question I have for you then is, what did it awaken in you? What
are you doing up there?
Tanya, you keep coming on live. So if you're there, maybe you wanted to say something.
That wasn't me this time.
Okay.
I don't know. But yeah, mine's sitting right here by the desk.
Okay, I can hear you. So somebody is, thank you. But a share, I'm gonna leave this open for a minute. A small moment, can you recollect it and share it? And it made a difference. And what did that open in you once you made contact with that?
I have one.
Yes, hello, good morning.
Good morning. Yeah, one small thing, and it sort of just happened in the moment. I literally stopped myself mid-sentence. I didn't complete a sentence. I was on a walk with my husband, and I could feel this tension rising in the conversation. And I literally went, and I stopped, because I realized whatever would follow would absolutely not bring benefit and just create more tension.
Yes.
And it felt very strange for a few moments. And then I felt this softening. I felt the tension release from me. And we didn't speak for probably 10 minutes. And then he offered something which really helped. And I don't think we would have gotten there otherwise. Or maybe we would. Who knows? Maybe we would have.
You don't know. Yeah. You know what happened when you offered that.
I had this real sense that I'm very glad that I stopped. And that, honestly, that was the best I could do, was just to stop.
Yes. And it matters. That's an amazing source of goodness, that we don't continue the reactivity, the contraction, the separation, the disconnect, the aggression, right? Whatever it is that's alive, briefly out of our own fear, our own fatigue, our own pain, that we can actually find the way to the pause. It's a very big deal, isn't it? It's a very big deal. And if you can think for just a moment, each of you, about what it would have meant for you had you offered yourself, not even the other, but had you offered yourself that moment of spaciousness, of pause, of allowing, of recognizing vulnerability, of recognizing your own pain, fear, or fatigue, changes everything.
And I think that's what came up for me was I recognized mine, I recognized his, and I had such a tenderness for both of ours that I didn't 2 moments before.
Yep. Just the moment before. That's right. That's right. Others, share your moment. These are the critical ones. We have to remember this because we fall, don't we, into these core believed thoughts that we do not have what it takes, that we are not capable, that we're not big enough, we're not awake enough, we're not kind enough, we're not loving enough to really be in this world, especially now. But it is not true. It is a moment. That's all we have. By the way, I will share the counter of Lisa's just for the clarity while you all think about yours. I completely lost it. Not so much verbally, but I just sunk into kind of a hopelessness, a kind of feeling like I don't have the energy. I can't do this. I can't do it alone. I can't continue the way we are. The house is a complete disaster in a remodel, and I don't have the energy for this. And I sunk into it. And then for a while, for the way it was, and actually realized that I was cultivating harm by just believing it was that way. Nothing could make it better, that it couldn't, we weren't going to get this all straightened out in a day. And it took a little time for me, a little time remembering, a little time in practice, a little time with friends, a little time in nurturing myself, getting outside was also helpful, listening to some music that I found inspiring, remembering and reading, that I was able to come back, offer what I needed first to myself, to allow that vulnerability, and then to others to accept and under their vulnerability in this these moments of both chaos and wonder, right? Both here. So whenever we go, it's hopeless. There's no hope. It actually where we have contracted. It is a moment of contraction. And can we end just once again with ourselves? What is most needed now so that I can see clearly the truth, right? And this is, and what else? A small moment.
I'll contribute something. I guess it's not just one moment. It just seems, when we talk about moments, I just started working from home, which sounds like a real romantic idea when you think of it at first. And then when you realize that you're going to have to concentrate on a job that you used to be able to do in a room by yourself for hours with, hundreds of people helping you, the reality can be overwhelming. And this past week is also MLB playoffs, and there's always sports on in the house, at my house, constantly. And my little corner nook is my office, and then I have my son home, doing distance learning, and Jen's, yelling at the TV, and I'm trying to have my moment of clarity and focus. And I guess it's just trying to weave out each moment, you know, because there's 20 moments in a moment if I start to get overwhelmed. But and then we decided to get a puppy, so that's crazy. But he just, as I said, chilled out the entire practice. But I guess it's just the idea of carving out each moment and just taking it one moment at a time. And I think, Diana, listening to what you said, when you have that chaos around you, you're the ground wire. You breathe, you stop for just a moment. And I love, I don't know who shared the moment in the beginning where she decided, I think it was Lisa, decided not to speak. That I came out. And when you really feel that grip, that tension, that anxiety, like you're just going to explode, just kind of recentering, regrounding, and just breathing just for a moment. I think that's what's been helping me. And that's what this practice to me is all about, is the ability to do that. And then I get to the next moment much, much easier and realize I'm not going to be overwhelmed, and I'm going to figure it out, and it's going to work out.
Yeah, that's
powerful.
Right. That's right. So there is this thing, we're all talking about it, isn't it? It's arriving to the present moment, being most fully there and offering what we can. And what are we saying? Whatever it is, it's for a moment. Whether it's, in my case, offering space, offering a nature, offering a sense of a larger container in which I could hold myself in the chaos of the present moment. The chaos did not go away, but the heart mind expanded to hold it. And that it's okay to recognize that there are limits, aren't there? There are vulnerabilities, there's tenderness, there's confusion. These are all just moments of experience that we do not, it's not useful to power through. I want us to be careful about this, because I think this is one of the bad habits we all have. I've just got to power through. No, actually, and we'll be talking about this more in the new year, that's actually guaranteed to invite trauma. That's trauma creating. I'm going to power through. I'm going to push away. I'm going to deny. I'm going to blinders on straight ahead as if this is going to work. We know for sure it doesn't, it won't, it can't. And in fact, it will do terrific damage to you and ultimately to others. And so I don't want us practicing this powering through. I've just got to cope. I've just got to deal. I'd rather you do this practice, which is take a moment with yourself, take a pause, remember the vulnerability and the preciousness of this human life, and let that moment create a little space right there in that moment for yourself. And then whatever else is true, you will have greater resource, resilience, capability, and heart mind to work with, to open to that. Leslie wrote here, I want to share this. She remembers sharing Ty's mindful eating practice. Yes, sometimes an orange, sometimes a raisin, it doesn't matter at all, does it? With little 3 to 6 year olds, it's one of the most precious moments I recollect, also sharing it with my own children. And the way this one small thing called taking a bite, right? Taking a bite. And what are we taking a bite of? The delicious present moment, right? The deliciousness of the present moment. And then it doesn't matter, persimmon, avocado, or just the breath being breathed in itself, right? These small moments. And we, particularly in these times, we go 26 days till election. We think 26 days, I can't live for 26 days with this president likely on debilitating steroids. Oh my God, what could the guy do? We can get caught in those stories. It doesn't mean there's not aspects of truth, but what can we do? Well, I can be here. I can be engaged in this body. I can feel my own tenderness, my own steroidal, maniacal reality in the face of fear, in the face of aggression, fatigue, despair. And I can come home, as Ty said at the beginning practice, I can come home and not be at war with myself. And then from that small moment, I can then end the war with others. But it works in that order. I can then end that war with others. And in this way, what do we know? We find peace. We find ease. We come home to wholeness, to the radiant goodness that is always available. And so this week's practice, if you're willing to consider it, is to continue to consider in the present moment the one small thing that you can do. That small thing that you can do. And we always, from my point of view, can begin with pause at the precipice. Can't we? That one coming home to the breath, coming home to the body, feeling our hands on our own aching, pained, chaotic, frenzied hearts. Breathing in a few times simply for oneself, offering ourselves this loving kindness simply with the breath and the open space. Whatever else comes will be right. And see the difference it makes, right? See the difference it makes, not only for you, but ultimately for others too. I'm going to check chat one more time. Thank you. Let's sit together for just another moment while I'll try to get back to the full screen. I'm not sure how to do that exactly. So I apologize for that. And so without the kitty, but with the puppies, we got a couple people with new puppies. How wonderful. How connecting. See if we can make contact with that joy, with the joy of nature, the joy of connection, the joy of the animals, the fishes, the joy of the sky, the joy of the seas, the joy of the forests, the trees, the mountains, the joy of the waters and the beach, the joy of our friends, the joy of loved ones, the joy of the beauty, the connection available right here in this human life, right through these eyes, ears, nose, mouth, body, and that which knows it. Breathe it in and settle into it. We don't have to create anything else. We simply have to remember a part of the whole, a part of this. Breathing in and breathing out, may we gather the merits and the benefits of this practice. And pouring those benefits over ourselves into our own hearts, may we then soak it up like a sponge. And as an abundant and full sponge is, it moves itself out in its time to include others. May we all be well. May we all be safe. May we all be healthy. May we all be happy. May we all live with ease. May we invite this friendliness, this non-reactivity, this non-aggression, this essential kindness and goodness. May we invite this with each breath, beginning here and now, until all beings are awakened. until all beings are free. And may this practice today contribute. And may it be so this very good day. So be it. Thank you all. Thank you, Jim, for that beautiful poem by David White. Thank you to Leslie for all of the recordings and the time it takes for uploading onto the website. Thank you for all of you who are sharing. Thank you to all of you who are practicing with us. We need each other desperately now. Just true. And so thank you for taking the time on what can become too busy a life and too busy a day to take those times for those pauses together, for dropping into that loving heart together. I'm grateful, truly grateful to each of you. Have a beautiful autumn day. I can feel the fall in the air this morning. We will be talking with you shortly about alternate plans for the retreat. I still would like to invite some extended practice opportunity in a different way. We're going to look at what might be most nourishing, see if we can't make an offering soon. If you have thoughts about that, please let me know. And please be well. Blessings to you all. Good to see you all. Yes, I didn't say it, but I will now. Thank you to all sustaining members. We're starting to cultivate a little sustaining membership core group. Thank you so much for that. We'll keep writing about that and talking about that. And even if you can't do that, it in no way changes what we mean by sustaining member, which is your ongoing contribution and practice. So thank you all for that. Have an absolute beautiful, wonderful day. Leslie, I see you. Blessings and thank you. See you all soon. Monday evening at 8 p.m. We'll continue to practice at 8 p.m. for a little while, see how we do. I look forward to seeing you then.